Let's take these kids app icons and make them horror themed, starting with the YouTube Kids app. We're gonna start off easy, but the last icon might keep you awake tonight, so let's get started. First, I masked out the YouTube Kids logo and changed the background to white, so it still feels friendly for about half a second. Then I added a zombie arm that's literally pressing the play button, because if we need something to start a video, it might as well be that. I gave the logo a drop shadow to lift it off the background, and then I added a contacted ambient shadow to the arm so it actually feels like it belongs in the scene. And once everything felt grounded, I painted some blood coming out of the logo itself and added a little more onto the arm. Just enough so you know what kind of video this is. Alright, let's move on. The next app is Maze for Kids, and in the original icon, there's a rat trying to find cheese. So I flipped the idea. Instead of cheese, I added a blood trail running through the maze. At the end of that trail, I placed garbage bags against the wall, and yes, there are body parts inside. To push the story a little further, I added a lake next to the bags as if whoever did this is about to get rid of the evidence. This kind of makes me feel like I'm watching Dexter. After cleaning up the lake with the clone stamp tool, I placed the figure in the throwing pose and added one more garbage bag above him right before it goes into the water. So yeah, still a maze, just not for rats anymore. And this one already had a face, so obviously I had to make it evil. First, I used generative fill to remove the mouth. Then I turned the truck completely black. I removed the original eyebrows and drew an angrier Jesus once manually before cleaning up the old eyes underneath. Now the front of the truck was perfect for the teeth, so I made a selection, filled it with black, and clipped triangle shapes into it to create a full set of teeth. Then I matched the shadows from the eyes so everything stayed consistent and turned the water splashes red, because now it's blood. After that, I added dripping blood on the back of the truck, warped it into perspective, and pulled an arm out of the mouth using puppet warp. Seriously, is this sometimes getting out of control, or am I the only one who feels this way? Let me know in the comments. Once the arm was in place, I added shadows where it touches the truck, and shadows on the arm itself so it actually feels wrapped around the metal. Then came more blood, highlights, depth, and darker splashes in the back because it was way too bright for a horror icon. I separated the truck from the background and placed it on a red to black radial gradient to finish it off. And yeah, this thing definitely eats people. Like this video if you don't want to be eaten by an evil truck tonight. Thank you! Now let's move on. This one took a while, especially because my dumbass forgot to start the recording again. The idea was to turn the dentist icon into something that feels dead and he just casually needs to see a dentist for his teeth. I started with basic shapes for the mouth and teeth and clipped everything properly before touching any color. Then I added shadows between the teeth to create separation, shadows inside the mouth for depth, and shadows on the teeth themselves. Once that was done, I turned the teeth yellow because, well, we all know this is purely out of jealousy. Then I added the eyes and spent an unreasonable amount of time adding shadows across the entire icon because I always have to feel so extra. This is where most of the work went, so instead of watching me suffer, this part turns into a quick shadow montage. Finally, after that, I added blood and brought back the drill from the original icon so it still reads as a dentist app. And honestly, this one came together pretty well. Alright, final app. Baby games, piano and baby phone. This was always meant to be the worst one. I started with a sketch, refined the proportions, and then I built the character from scratch using shapes. The color palette stayed simple, black and red. Once all the shapes were in place, I started adding shadows to everything. Head, body, arms, legs, everything. Again. Then I started working on the mouth. I began with the tongue and added the teeth, build out the gums, and finish it off with saliva stretching between everything. After that, I added the eyes and the nostrils and gave the arms metal braces with shadows underneath so they actually feel embedded into the character. Now for the fun part. I masked out the baby phone screen and placed the demon coming out of it. Then I added orange highlights as if the light is coming from inside the device. Then I warped the arm into the keypad, masked the phone cleanly, and desaturated it to black and white. After, I added shadows wherever the demon touches the edges. To keep some contrast, I painted the color back into one of the buttons and added glow to the eyes. Then came blood, a bloom effect, and finally a camera raw filter to bring it all together. And that's it. Let me know in the comments which kid app icon was the worst, and if you enjoyed the video, you might want to watch this video right here.